store, but we're going to look at Lotus to start things off. New configurations in terms of composition for RRQ, especially.
Just small adjustment since RRQ Kaguya. We notice now that they're going for more of a 5-woman roster. We're not really seeing the substitutions anymore from open number 2, and they swap over Nabsky from a Saphire to a Killjoy instead. They have been running a Yuumi and Aluka though in the front line for quite a while, and for RRQ, there's just so much to really work on against Fullsense Saphire especially. But we start off the action. Aggression here from Saphire to get control of Rubble to begin with, and RRQ will have to wait by lobby to begin this fight.
Taking that Rubble away early on, especially in a half like this, it creates this sort of uncertainty for RRQ on the attacking side of how confident they can be in going for that A site execute in the first place. B though looking to be attempted. They do have an alarm bot, so should be fully aware of this Fullsense. You can see how much commitment they have into holding that right A side portion of the map.
Yeah, Fullsense, they do want to anticipate any aggression early on. Best setting up the Trailblazer, broken quickly by Margot. And it's now Muffin backing on away. Pain Chill Slob, a Yuumi inside the Cloudburst, and Margot trying to find that bit of damage, but the Yuumi's already there. Stellar takedown to begin with. Margot gets one for her troubles, but RRQ, the numbers are here unrelenting, and they begin the siege of that A side. Slow down the pace though. They have the 4v2 advantage, and they can regroup accordingly towards Tree. Baby TZ, she was stellar yesterday against Orangutan X. Can she anchor down these sites the same way? A one-way setup, and RRQ going for the plant.
Yeah, it just makes it impossible for Baby TZ to even attempt to peek out there. That's a great initial entry towards that Rubble side, but here, all the way towards Tree, it only stands as Baby TZ goes down. Quick early round from RRQ, exactly the way they were expecting to start.
Yeah, they just timed it so well. As soon as they got that intel from the Trailblazer, Yuumi dashed in with the Cloudburst and honestly caught Margot in a pretty bad situation. Muffin isolated there while Margot was setting up the smokes, and the rest of RRQ would funnel on in from that point on. So, seems like for Kaguya, hasn't been the best record against Fullsense Saphire, but a good start at least here on the first map.
Well, they're looking to change that here right now. Set the record straight, right, and how things should be continuing in terms of where teams look at and who they're looking for. Fullsense so far. And on this defensive side, they had a great idea to try and push up early, as I talked about, but they just simply didn't have enough firepower, I guess, and obviously the player count to really hold on to that exact idea. The paranoia from Margot, different type of utility like that, just wasn't connecting the way that they potentially expected, and allows now RRQ to get this early kind of momentum in the half.
Yeah, Saphire now knows RRQ coming the way of A, but yet again, slow down the pace, find the timing, get the intel first and foremost. Seems like there are a few objectives that RRQ try to clear to begin with as, oh, okay. Haven't seen that happen on the map, but it's RRQ now. On site yet again, same kind of plan. Holding towards Tree, watches out the doorway also. Keep an eye out on Rubble, just because the lobby flank can happen.
They're making sure that they have some sort of presence there towards that Rubble, as you said. It's Baby TZ to be the sole flanker. Here comes the Brunton of the push on it as Baby TZ's caught out.
Yeah, 2 already here for RRQ. Fullsense coming up close, at least trying to get into a bit of distance. A bit of damage done towards a Yuumi, but beyond that, it's RRQ yet again with a solid anti-eco to begin this set.
Yeah, making sure they don't get overrun. Obviously, the pick off there on the Baby TZ helped as well with keeping that front line just secured and in check. And if you're a team here like RRQ, you got some of these rifles, right? You got that Bulldog, you got everything else. Actually, never mind. They actually buy up. They do not want to play a bonus. They really want to be making sure they take no half measures.
I mean, look at their money. They do have a bunch of creds to still use into the next round. Anyway, Yuumi with a rifle right now. It's the light armor strategy also. So RRQ, they have more money, more creds to work with down the line. This time C, looking likely. There you have the smokes being set on up. Baby TZ knows that there's trouble afoot. Yuumi though, falls first and foremost. Good hold, and another one. Baby TZ, collateral indeed. 3 down, Best does fight back. But Kaguya already crippled immediately by the Killjoy. Can Nabsky find any value from the bent position? Pauly though, anticipating the push. The snake bite's there. And Kaguya, they didn't expect to lose that many players. Worse for wear now, the Pain Shell's making it even tougher. Pauly's ready. Down goes Nabsky. And in a 4v1 slate, the door opens. The paranoia's there. And Margot, all she needs to do is hit the shots. There you go. Finds a target, finds the takedown, and finds the round for Fullsense.
Gets it in the end, but what a spectacular way of anchoring down the site there. They line it up, and she's able to knock her down. A triple for Baby TZ. Obviously, Polly keeping sure she watches the opposite angle, and the way that RRQ were just completely shut down in the initial attempt. Fullsense, you know, even after losing those 2 rounds, they're here to play.
Yeah, they have to be careful, especially during the cross. We've seen from Baby TZ, especially against OGX yesterday, her anchor spots, just the way that she's willing and able to find those contact points so early on. Instrumental to the success of Saphire indeed. Jinny though, close contact of the Sky's kind. There you have the Boombot trying to get intel, and you notice here, Black and Blue, since RRQ have been taking half armor measures, they have guns now to fight back with.
Well, maybe they've got some guns, but Guardian and Yumi, Showstopper, that's going to be the big one for Aluka. She has to be able to buy that space for them. I'm not sure if committing to this B site would be the best attempt from them. They have to try and pull that defense somewhere else. You can see once more, Rubble trying to be secured here by Fullsense, Saphire. They just need to be aware of not falling to the same mistakes of what worked out in RQ's favor during the pistol round.
Yeah, Sapphire's just limiting those options and at least getting more map control as soon as possible. Muffin, though, spotted by the Trailblazer. Pauly thinking about reinforcing the A front line. Margot, though, found first. Muffin with a trade. Now still sticking around by Rubble. There you have the subscreen to try and help her out. Muffin gets a target thanks to the snake bite. And the Showstopper looking for anyone to just fire that rocket towards to. But in the end, it's 3v3.
Nabsky, very low after that bout. That can benefit her for sure. No Sky, Bess is taken down. No way to get regrowth back up into fighting capacity. It's a B-side pivot that they're going to try and attempt here. And luckily, Baby TZ is here. And they're going to be aware of this attempt. She knows they're coming. She can find timing on this thing. She gets the one.
Whoa!
The second. The third doesn't go her way. But she's bought time. Iceberg has to stick.
And now here comes the rest of Fullsense. They just confirmed that it's going to be a B-plant 1v2 situation from the shadows now to try and find a better angle. But Polly's already on the defuse. And Fullsense Saphire, can they stick it? Yes, they do, alongside Jinny getting that takedown. Now we're all tied up, and Saphire yet again finding the timings just by eliminating options early.
I think she wanted to initially kind of reposition there with from the shadows, but because of the fact that they were already on the spike, she had to bail out of it and left her in an awkward scenario where she might not have had the best angle. Baby TZ coming in big, calling her name, and sends him to the Shadow Realm. 2 and 2, they tie up the game off of that too, and you can see here that if RRQ are having their options just shut and measured by Fullsense, they're a lot more desperate to try and go for those late round pivots where things can go amok, and that's what Fullsense did.
And Fullsense right now, since they see half armor measures on the other side, look at them too. They're running 25 armor, they're just keeping up on the economy front, and they know at the very least, RRQ Kaguya, they're gonna have more firepower than they always expect. Might as well take the same kind of measures. Stellar shooting already done by Saphire anyway. Muffin, though, found out by Ayumi. A strong beginning here for RRQ. Ayumi, though, shut down now. Paranoia there to try and keep Margot alive. And can she teleport out in time? High ground held by Jinny. Saphire has the top part to work with, and the cross is there. Best will fall. Jinny with a takedown. The smoke to cover.
Man, Fullsense Saphire, they've been consistently picking apart RRQ on these entry attempts. Like, even before the spike gets planted down, they've been losing members just trying to get within the site because they've been holding these angles on the usual choke crosses. It's Iceberg, that's a great drop here in the Margot.
Now we see here for Saphire, they're always at the ready, but now Iceberg giving a chance to RRQ. The plan comes on in. Nabsky still knows Jinny's on top. And Polly and Baby TZ a different angle to try and work it. Flash comes on in. Jinny knows there's close contact. Iceberg gets 2 for her trouble at the very end. And that could have been it for Nabsky. But Jinny quicker on the reaction. Fullsense still stand.
So close though, how it came. It's a nice attempt by RRQ, but even better from Fullsense. As I said, you know, you start off a lot of those executes just at a disadvantage 5v3 because of the fact that Saphire, they've been taking off these picks, finding these picks for the most part here early on these initial attempts. Ayumi starts things off, yes, but the kills here coming from Margot, coming from Jinny, it just makes things so much more difficult for trading it to work out in RRQ's favor at the end of the day, and Fullsense are able to play that player advantage to their, the count to their name. So timeout forced here from RRQ Kaguya, and if you've been kind of keeping track of the economy, even though it's been 3 rounds that Fullsense have been winning over them, they've still been able to have some sort of proper buy at the end of, rather at the start of each round.
I mean, it's always been close rounds, right? How many players are left for Fullsense in many of these scenarios? Since they're capitalizing that they can play a frontline heavy start onto the map, RRQ will get those picks. RRQ have done their duty to actually carve a path towards these sites, but Saphire at the very end, just how they limit these options, it's been the biggest reason why that they're prepared for any kind of retake scenario, and that's been case in point for the past few rounds.
These past few rounds certainly haven't been looking like the most fortunate ones for RRQ here. Initial attempt there, you can see Fullsense really making sure they take rubble away, which is one of those big win conditions teams rely on the defensive side here on Lotus. You take away that rubble, it makes it so much more difficult to suddenly shift onto a B side hit or go for that A side commit, and you're kind of forced onto that B and C side of the map instead, which makes things a lot more, I guess, readable for the defense to be able to anticipate. And
yeah,
if that's what they can continue to do, shut down the options here for RRQ, then it's going to be a difficult opening half.
I agree with you, because they're being funneled basically by Saphire. Saphire sifting through these ingredients, knowing what toppings they want, knowing what kind of contact they will get later on. This time though, we don't get that rubble contest here from Saphire. The Guiding Light still gets confirmation. The RRQ nearby towards main, and a chance to pivot towards B if ever. They're looking for picks though elsewhere, especially towards that B side. Muffin anticipating back to the lurk, and we've seen from Saphire, they haven't crossed over to the other side as of yet here.
Look at the amount of ultimates that Fullsense Saphire have got here. So much to work with for that retake lockdown, and Seekers. A side should be theirs. Plant will not go untethered. They will have a lurk here towards that B side, and that's going to keep some of the defense busy.
Yeah, but the RRQ, Navsky actually dodging Paranoia, getting out in time. And it's a big piece of utility that's gone already from this plate. You mentioned though, it's time for ultimates, it's time for Ginny and the Seekers. Maybe it's easy for contact. Finally realized Alaka's there, but Alaka sharp on the shot. A good start here for RRQ, holding down this spike site. Volley on the board, gets to Muffin there as well, and Fullsense now just charging on in. It's all Fullsense here, and Fullsense with another one. No matter the situation, they're prepared for these retakes.
Nicely done from Fullsense. Initially, nice shot there from Alaka coming up on top of the box, but as I said, Fullsense just have so much more ultimates to throw, and they only used the Seekers for that one, but that was more than enough for them to find out about this off angle, flush Alaka out of it, and the rest of it just circumventing and kind of overcoming whatever post-plant hole that RRQ had set in place. And even though initially Navsky was pulling some of their attention towards that B site, they knew that they didn't necessarily have to bother about it if they were quick enough on the site take itself.
And come on, Paulie also from drop, right? Getting 2 of those kills out of nowhere. It's a Saphire right now, stepping up, getting more value than that's initially expected from their positions. And for now, it's pretty clear cut that this strategy is working for them. Play a bit aggressive on a certain angle. Limit those options yet again. And here we have it, Ginny. She's the one who's looking for that contact. No toxic train up as of yet. He's anticipating someone moving through route, and there you go. The smoke a little too late to the party. Navsky taking a step too far.
Yeah, finds a small opening, but that's more than enough for a player like her to connect the shot.
Here.
Another opening pick here, going in the way of Fullsense Saphire. And RRQ playing with the odds against them once more. They do have it from the shadows to try and scout out that backside towards a drop maybe, but is that really what's going to be the best tool here? So much more ultimates for the retake once again for Fullsense. It can continue the momentum with this, and RRQ Kaguya in such a difficult spot. They're going to have to get somewhat aggressive here just to find an early pickoff and equalize the player count.
Yeah, they're trying to push with Best and Alaka. The flash comes on in, but Ginny back in cover. Trailblazer broken. Paranoia's there. Ayumi does find Margo, but Baby Teasy already to get on board yet again. It's 4v3 now Fullsense still funneling RRQ into places that they will find them. Here comes the showstopper. Muffin lets it rip. Ayumi can't dodge it whatsoever. And then Muffin with the clear. Do they know that Iceberg's here in the corner? Dropped out of position of opportunity, but she can't even get the shot going. Ginny still survives and thrives. It's Fullsense now with a handful of rounds.
That should have been it. She should have been able to get one there, maybe even two, considering Muffin was low. You get the quick kill on maybe Muffin, then swap on over to the diffuser. Things could have gone very differently. I mean, I like the attempt here from RRQ to go a bit aggressive. As I was talking about, in that case, you don't have the player count in your favor. Get aggressive, maybe find an early pickoff, but just not able to hit their shots has been a problem here for RRQ Kaguya. And after the timeout, to still not be able to win a round, that's gotta hurt. They still have some sort of buy here, but look at how just even with them able to economically get these rounds going, they can't close them out.
Man, if you think about the protocols we see here, RRQ Kaguya, past few rounds, they say, let's go A. Fullsense, what's their protocol on the defense? Make them go A. Make them stick around the walls, the corners, stay around tree, and we know the rest of the map is ours. So this time, we change up the pace, we change up the site. C looking to be where RRQ Kaguya wants to contest. Mound here taken by Kaguya as well. Fullsense still such a stranglehold so far. So many utilities set up for them on the other side.
Well, lockdown here in place, right, as we call it. They got something to work with, but the counter lockdown's actually timed really well. This is going to make it so that you're going to force RRQ to basically have to use their lockdown for nil, for nothing. They don't get any value out of it effectively. Gets destroyed too, just barely at the end. Oh, detain as well.
Yeah.
I think that's maybe to goad them in to try and go for an aggressive peak, but nothing comes of it.
Yeah, the discipline right now.
Kaguya, just once again, kind of short of options here.
They're just sticking around. They know that they can hold down the site. Now RRQ Kaguya decide to pivot towards B, and the Yumi looking at least to find any contact towards Waterfall. Ginny though, the flash is there, and Fullsense now come out of the woodworks to make that 3 here from Margot, linking up with the rest of the squad, and it's a 3v2 scenario immediately. So low HP already for Alika. Navsky hurt as well, and they're separated here. Spike no longer in the hands of RRQ Kaguya. Fullsense in full control, and this round should be theirs yet again.
Man, just perfect timing here from Margot. Dipping into the fight, finding the 3, going unchecked, and RRQ once more in another spot where their attempt to even get the spike down is just completely halted because of the fight's not going their way. And Fullsense have been doing a good job of punishing multiple times over. They expect that aggression to come. They expect them to push towards that CT, towards that defensive spawn side, right? Towards the entry. And when RRQ do so, Fullsense are lying in wait, and they've been once again kind of really cutting down on the options that RRQ have got here. You think it'd be multiple choice, A, B, or C, but sometimes it looks more like a true or false, if anything.
It doesn't even seem to have a right answer by this point. No matter what door you actually go push through, it's Fullsense Saphire waiting for you. And here we go yet again. Ginny, though, this is trouble, but somehow she avoids it. How is she still alive? Ginny, the unstoppable force cannot be removed whatsoever. 2 down, and Fullsense yet again silencing RRQ Kaguya to begin with.
She simply will not go down.
Oh no.
Ginny, incredible stuff, baby. TZ gets the 1-off for free. And RRQ look completely lost right now. This is such a desperate half already, and we're only in round number 9. And you can tell that RRQ just almost at a loss for ideas, the same way we're at the loss for words.
I mean, somehow, some way, Ginny survives the end, and baby TZ, she knows that 2 are coming towards Mound. Back to the site she goes, back to the usual positions that she's strong at. And Iceberg, the smokes come on out, but it's a desperate endeavor to make it through. Poly already reinforcing, and Nano Swarm is popped, keeping Iceberg and Navsky at bay. And here comes baby TZ, singing them a lullaby, a sweet kiss goodnight even. 3 down for her, and it's a 5-round gap now for Fullsense.
Man. For one of, the tyrants here of the
Push rank semalaman. Pastikan kemurnian menemanimu. Bear Brand, rasakan kemurniannya.
Apac scene in RRQ Kaguya, formerly in the past. Fullsense are really looking like they've taken things up to a different notch here. And a lot of times, in these kind of rematch games. It's a team who lost the last time around, who typically learns more, is able to adjust and come back to retaliate and go back and forth, but it's been, for the most part, aside from the opening 2 rounds, a one-way show for Fullsense Saphire here, and they're looking absolutely stellar.
And you go back to the Rumble take, and RRQ Kaguya needs to respect it. A bit of a split approach as they're trying to find any kind of opening. But maybe this is the perfect time to talk about that history there, Black and Blue. Ever since the Elite Tournament last year, ever since it was Extend versus Alter Ego Celeste, which is pretty much the core of RRQ Kaguya, it has always been Saphire. Open 1 as Saphire. Open 2, Open 3. All Fullsense Saphire every single damn game. And RRQ Kaguya has not found an answer for pretty much over a year already. Koldan mentioned it a while ago. Yes, these maps have gone into overtime in this series, but it's always been a Saphire victory ever since Saphire took that slot away on that international stage. Here we go yet again though. Contact now. Muffin and Margot. A bit of trouble thanks to the paint shells. Best looking to find the opportunity. Margot gets the hell out of there still. And Fullsense now retreat towards A.
Able to fall back to safety even with all that pressure, and it's maybe one of those things, Zax, when you look at how these two teams are, that just stylistically, once they found out how to adjust and how to counteract them, they work super well, and Muffin's incredible in that double!
You want the counter action? There you go. What a reaction from Muffin. Best though at least gets that kill, but it's 4v2. Make that 4v1. Namski the only one standing. She will fall as soon as she's spotted. This is Fullsense Sapphire's domain, and with an 8-2 scoreline, they're putting the proof in it.
30 seconds left.
It's like a glass ceiling, Dax. Once it cracks once, the entire foundation and the structure of it simply goes as well. Incredible stuff we're seeing here from Fullsense Saphire, and you know, it was throughout the entirety of last year, the core of RQ, that former Alter Ego Celeste team, they were the ones who were simply spoiling the fun for this Fullsense Saphire squad when they were still on X10. But one Saphire found their one win against them when it mattered the most in the grand finals. That is when they turned things around. They've beaten them before, but after that grand final, everything just turned the wayside here for the Kaguya squad.
Yeah, the one in the upper bracket finals, the one in the grand finals, and then everything and anything we've seen here in 2023. Flash comes on in, but look who's ready! Of course, it's Baby TC! Another one bites the dust! It's all Baby TC now, and she gets 3! And the damage has been done yet again. Critical look here for RQ Kaguya. A Yumi desperation with the blades trying to be the hero of this story. And a chance now to pivot perhaps. Ayumi's pushing towards Gravel. Fullsense here, the on cue though. And it's time for the retake. Boombot leading the charge. Trailblazer there too. And yet again, Saphire. Intel so necessary. Paranoia's there. Ayumi, she still gets the kill, yes, but the pain shells will give her her due. It's 2v1 now. Op is out, and Nabsky is gone. Fullsense again. Full control is an understatement.
Absolutely just sensational the way the Saphire squad have been playing throughout this map, and this is, I'd hate to say it, akin to how it turned out the last time these two teams matched up against each other. That map number 1, just a complete wash in the favor of Fullsense Saphire. They won on Pearl like 13-2, and then they won Fracture in like 5-6
super
overtimes, right? Super overtime, basically. Nobody could even count at that point, and we're going to Fracture for map number 2, but this one's looking to tell the same tale as their opening Swiss match might have been.
And that's why we have this map draft in the first place. You saw that RQ was the one who banned Pearl, even though they were exceptional at it in Open 2, just because of that loss. Overall, Saphire has manipulated RQ out of the game in this map right now. And truth be told, they've been affecting them all throughout the year from what we've seen. Seekers though are out. Ginny waiting for that initial contact. Healers are coming this way. Here we go with the cross turret. Gets a bit more of confirmation, but Baby TC burns down Nabsky already. She's holding down Tree, removing a spot RQ Kaguya has used to call them home. The lockdown's there too, forcing that contact. Ginny on the board, and it's just RRQ stuck in a sandwich, absolutely pinched from all sides. From the shadows to evacuate, sure, but yet again, choices made by Saphire towards RRQ.
Very questionable decisions here in how RRQ are playing. As Marco finds a pick off on the Yumi, nobody even applying pressure from the tree door itself. There was maybe just some contact made by Marco, but where's a follow-up on that? Maybe you can Trailblazer into it. You still have it, you know, potentially. those type of things, it's been creating massive problems here for RRQ, who simply give a one-sided answer to the multiply faceted defense of Fullsense.
And Fullsense Saphire all throughout this year been getting better and better, looking to make that case that they can reach the stars, reach Team SMG. And of course, their past will not haunt them. They are on a warpath versus RRQ Kaguya with his 10-2 standing. We'll toss it over to the panel to break down what's happened so far.
10-2 for...
Yeah. There's a movie about a physicist right now, and I think that's more than enough science for the weekend.
Yeah, well, good vibrations aside, though, it's time now to see if Saphire can keep up this kind of momentum.
Did you just say good vibrations as a long form of good vibes? Is that what it's supposed to mean?
It's a double entendre, honestly. If you watched it, you will know. Okay?
I see.
Remember I told you my story when I watched Barbie and that movie was right beside us? There you go. Yeah, now, there you go. Sublime indeed. And there you have it. Sublime from RRQ. They at least are holding together, working as a unit. Oldak mentioned it. They just need a bit of teamwork. And now the team is setting themselves up for success. Gone is Fullsense, and RRQ stands on C.
It's another pistol round win for RRQ, and that's certainly nothing that you can certainly fault. Of course, in this case, still a long way to go, to say the very least, but it's a start, and that's the most important thing. RRQ, they gain a round back. Maybe, just maybe, Madax at this map is suddenly defender-sided.
Yeah, I mean, it's something that RRQ can work with, and maybe here on the defense, they're going to be a bit more coordinated on their approach, especially as they know Sapphire is coming their way. There we go with the Guiding Light, though. It's an eco round here for Fullsense. As you can see already, RRQ picking up a rifle, picking up a few bulldogs along the way. They know they need to invest early just in case. RRQ, early aggression, sure. Navsky will retreat for now. And Saphire funneling themselves, moving over A instead, where it's actually best awaiting them.
Slowly taking their time. Here comes out that push from Fullsense. Best in difficult spot. No more guiding lights, no flashes to continue for the fight. Baby TC good on the one. They know where Best is. The help is coming in big here. And Muffin follows up with a double.
Yeah, but Fullsense, they have the advantage now. They pick up a few guns as well. And look what Baby TC has. She has the Phantom in hand. So timing now might be key here for Saphire. The angle even better. And Muffin gets a 3K here. We've seen Muffin step up these situations. Will the anti-eco stand? Yes, it will be a Saphire win. What a way to get that victory. What a way to get that thrifty, man.
Yeah, they just completely got overrun there on the side. They wanted to anchor things down. They thought they could and simply front the push here of Saphire, but even these diamonds in the rough have completely shined and shimmered today. RRQ trying to bring the rough game to them, but it's completely smooth sailing from Fullsense Saphire, who have no problems at all dealing with the defense right now.
And we've seen again how Saphire works with the numbers advantage. As soon as they realize the landscape of the defense, that it was only best there, later on reinforced by one more player. They took advantage of the corners. They took advantage especially on the wall on the right side of the site. And from that point on, they found the kills and they found the guns to work with. This is a perfect chance for them to keep on going, as it's RRQ forced to play the eco instead.
Man, it's so difficult right now for RRQ. The way things have gone, and just the disparity of the coordination in Fullsense in comparison to Kaguya for this map specifically, it's very, very evident here that Fullsense just came today to play, and there's nothing RRQ have done or been able to do to stop them.
One enemy
Look, so far, Fullsense Saphire, they're making a very good case for themselves. Look at their bracket. Look at who they're facing up against right now, as it's a flawless victory to put themselves on match point. They took down the Orangutan X yesterday. They're putting themselves in a good spot here to beat RRQ Kaguya as well, especially on this first map. And if this continues, Saphire is just making that statement that they are gunning for that top spot of the Game Changers Apac League.
Well, they've done it once before, Dax. When they weren't the favorites, when they were the perennial second or third seed at best, they took down the champs. They took down this former Alter Ego squad to claim it all in the lead. And right now, the favorites looking like SMG, they're looking to take their crown as well with these type of performances.
Yeah, this is now Saphire unleashed truly. And it took them a while to get started this year, but here now in Open 3, we're getting maximum potential realized by the Saphire squad that represented the region before. Now, a default on what could be the last round of this map. Besto, a plan to play aggressive with Alaka. Do they dare swing and push? There's the flash and a kill onto Polly. Best also covering fire. Stellar crossfire made there, covering one another. And a good beginning for Kaguya to keep alive.
But you see the coordination, and that's something we haven't been seeing from a lot of the pushes of RQ there. You have Alaka on the wide swing, Best holding a close angle because they know someone's going to be playing that trade position, and she's at the ready. They're at the ready for both. It's exactly what RQ have to continue to do if they have any hopes of coming back into this map.
Yeah, that's the level of play that Saphire have set. RQ need to match that. Heck, they have to surpass that if they want to make this comeback happen. They do know, though, an A push awaits. The door open, Margot and Muffin cross accordingly. Ginny's waiting for any of them to come from his doorway. There's the teleport, but Best wins the fight anyway, and it's Muffin who will fall. Ginny gets 2. Here comes Ayumi with the operator. It's 1v3. Ginny has the secrets, at least, to know where these targets are, but it's a difficult task, made even harder by their positions. Time running out. Ginny needs to go. There's the op. There's Best now towards the corner. RQ just running away from the fight, keeping in cover, keeping in check, and they eventually group up to slay the last member. It's RQ who survived for now.
You know, we needed to see more of that in the previous rounds. It wasn't even about hitting the shots necessarily, just the way that they actually addressed each individual problem here. And you talked about the level of play of what Fullsense Saphire brought to this map, brought to this game, and this series specifically. And it was such a big disparity in how much more coordinated and how much more set positioning Fullsense had compared to RQ, and if they can continue to play like that, especially if we move on over to the second map, then we could have a real series on our hands.
Yeah, they just need a bit of a wake-up call here, and a Yumi perhaps. Alarm bells ringing, and there you have it. Eyes wide open, Margot falls. A good start here for Kaguya, at least that pick. Now making Saphire slow down the pace yet again.
That's the thing too, trying to be aware of somebody on that peak, right? Making sure that on the close angle, on the cross angle rather, expect and trying to, in the first place, guess that Margot could be there. Anticipate that is a proper word. You know they got an omen. They can definitely do things like that. And Ayumi, once more, expecting now, honestly, having the right read in the situation where they could be coming towards this B site.
Yeah, it's difficult because Saphire only has the toxic screen to work, and it's headed towards A. Pain Shell's still lob. Ayumi has to disengage. And look at Muffin go. Iceberg though will stop her. Dead to rights. Ginny with a trade. And this time around, Saphire yet again with a rotation. They're down a member, sure. They open the doorway, but they double back, and they're looking to move perhaps towards A here.
Showstopper available for Alaka.
30 seconds left.
Maybe they can shut them down. They don't seem to be ready of this A-side hit just yet, so it's going to be a bit late on the rotation, but that doesn't have to be necessarily a problem. They still have the player count advantage in their favor. The Best from the door opens things up and absolutely takes them down. Now they're pressed for time.
Yeah, Yumi might have the angle here, and there you go. Nice shot, even better from Navsky, and RRQ yet again stay alive here. The rotation that was pulled, you were talking about it a while ago, might have been a threat towards the RRQ defense, but since they got these early picks, since they had that pressure, especially given by Iceberg, given by the operator on the Jets, it was enough for them to weather that storm. And I think the problem right now for Saphire on this attacking side is they're running out of time trying to go for these rotations, looking for opportunities.
Really smart there by Yumi as well. Once she spied Muffin kind of jump peeking out there to try and get information. She anticipated the fact that, hey, somebody, maybe Margot, could be crawling up on the deeper angle. It takes her out, but the fact that they're giving multiple points of ways to contest and presence here, RRQ on this defensive side, that's exactly what they have to continue to do moving forward, even if this map, let's say, closes out later on in Fullsense Sapphire's favor. The lessons that and the attempts that they've been doing these past 2 rounds, it's really so far different from what they were trying to do on the attacking side and what they've been doing a while ago. And it's not just because of the side swap, it's also just the way they address things. You can tell much more coordinated, and the type of play that has earned them the infamy that they have in the Apac scene.
Yeah, things look so much more in sync, right? It's a completely different team we're seeing now compared to the first half. And if RQ Kaguya can continue on this form, they can make this map very respectable. May even go for that big comeback. It's such a tough task ahead of them. 7 rounds still the gap. Rifles at the ready here for Saphire. And we go for another default play. Slow things down, cut that noise, and find that opening perhaps towards B here.
Going out.
Trailblazer out. B-side execute to come now for Fullsense Saphire. No ultimates in the way to throw him, but if they do get the plant, they can get some of these online, namely that lockdown, which would be big. Spike down, retake to come in for RQ. They got the showstopper to initiate, but baby, it's easy. Just burns down Best on the retreat.
Yeah, doesn't realize the Nano Swarm's there thanks to the smoke, and Napsky now with the find out the muffin. Napsky, if she can get one board, that can be the lockdown that they can utilize, but no, not gonna happen in this round. Sapphire now with the advantage. Showstopper absolutely stopped indeed. And Fullsense Sapphire, a step in the right direction, and stepping on the opposition with domination. What a win, especially after that first half buffer. They show yet again